All right.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Coffee with Father James, and it's the outside version, finally. Days are getting longer, they're not as cold as they used to be, and Easter is coming. This coming weekend is the highlight of our whole Lenten season of Holy Week. And this weekend at Mass, we'll be welcoming a lot of people who might not regularly be part of our parish, people who might be coming back, people who might be exploring the Christian faith or the church for the first time. Either way, we are called as parishioners to welcome everyone who comes to our doors. And it's very much in line with the preaching series that we had during the Lenten season about hospitality. Remember how our call to be hospitable as Christians is rooted in the fact that God is by his nature hospitable. We serve and worship a hospitable God who wants the fullness of life for us. And that really is the motivation for us to extend hospitality to those who come through our doors. Now, one particular demographic that we're called to be intentional about with hospitality is young people or children. And I'd say that in many parishes, we don't necessarily do a very good job specifically welcoming children into an experience of church and giving them an age-appropriate experience of church. I mean, think about it. What are your earliest memories of going to church? I know what mine are. I still remember the hardness of the pew up in the choir loft area of this church I used to go to in Scotland. I remember the height of it behind me, and I just remember the feeling of, please let this finish soon. I want this to be over. It was excruciating. And I remember also my mum basically telling me to sit still. And it was just this endurance test of something that was interminable and boring and with this threat of being in trouble if I was bad, if I didn't behave myself. Those are my earliest memories. And you know, we as Catholics, we've done such a great job turning that into a tradition. You know, our parents made us suffer through church. By golly, we're going to make you suffer through it as well. We're going to do our best to ensure that your earliest impressions and earliest memories of going to church are, well, enough to motivate you to give it up by the time you become a teenager. The whole thing about first impressions and all that. Imagine if, rather than having to fight their children to go to church on Sunday, imagine the fight was the other way around. Imagine children fighting with their parents to go to church. Imagine kids actually not throwing a tantrum because they have to go to church, but throwing a tantrum if they don't go to church. Imagine helping our children to have an incredibly positive experience of church. This is why we've decided to begin Children's Liturgy of the Word. And we're starting it on Easter Sunday. So this coming Sunday at the 11 a.m. Mass, at the beginning of the Liturgy of the Word, we're going to be inviting young people from the ages of 4 to 10 years of age to come forward. And they will go into the area behind the sanctuary, and they're going to have an age-appropriate experience of church. There's going to be a shortened version and simplified version of the readings, an interactive reflection, and some time of prayer. It's not going to be arts and crafts. It's not going to be babysitting. It is going to be an experience of the Word of God, an experience of faith, and in somewhat of a liturgical fashion, as much as you can, in a way that will engage kids. And we hope to learn as we go along to make this the best possible experience for them, to learn about it, improve on it each week, and receive feedback. So that's going to become a regular part of what we do, and we hope to grow that experience. You know, we're very limited right now in our physical space, but down the road, God willing, if we can follow through on our plans to renew our building and have new creative spaces, we can have an entire space dedicated to to what we do with children on Sunday morning. So that's the plan. That's the plan. But more important than what we're going to do and when we're going to do it and where we're going to do it is why we're doing it to begin with. It's about hospitality. It's about providing the children the best possible experience, the best experience for them as they look back in life. But it's also about improving the experience of their parents. Any parent that's ever had a noisy child, the anxiety that comes with that of not wanting to interrupt others and feeling awkward and putting so much time and energy trying to work with your child, so that going to church becomes so frustrating for you because you begin to think, what do I even get out of this? Is it even worth it? So this isn't just about providing hospitality to children. This is about providing hospitality to young families who do so much, who work so hard to get their kids packed up and ready and bring them to church. We want to do all that we can to make it the best possible experiences for children, for parents, and ultimately for families. So, Sunday morning, 11 o'clock Mass. Have a wonderful Holy Week, and we'll see you on the other side. God bless.